What is up, Raider Nation? It's another Sesh Media Productions. I'll be Frank. And I know you probably already made your rounds looking at all the other content creators, Sports Center, you name it. You probably already seen everything you thought you wanted to see about the preseason game. But hey, there's still one more. It's me. Come on, let's listen. What am I going to talk about? I'm going to hit this. I'm going to pass it to you. It's a sesh like the old school, man. You're sitting around with your boys talking shit. So, what did you see last night? Well, for myself, I was keying in on some of the starters that we had out there that I didn't think were actually going to play, but they played. So, I was watching Alex Leatherwood. I couldn't believe I saw Josh Jacobs out there. Brandon Parker. These are those as far as Leatherwood and Brandon Parker go. They're supposed to be started. Andre James was out there. We had John Simpson was out there. Those dudes are projected to be starters. And the starters did okay against a defense that had some of their starters. Not all of them, obviously. Preseason game, first game of the year, is supposed to be light. And especially after that rain, I was totally worried that, someone was going to MCL, ACL, broken something, man. Slippery. I was worried. Man, the whole time I was just like this. Like, please. Let's just have a nice, interesting game. Let these dudes get some reps for the guys that need reps. And they got some. And what I took was Leatherwood. He looked pretty good, man. Honestly, he looked better than he did the year prior in his rookie season. I think that's a sign that bodes well for us, bodes well for him. I do believe he will be a starter just off of what he did. And he looked strong out there. And then, the flip side to that coin was Brandon Parker. Brandon Parker did not look really good. Now, could that have been because he was on the left as opposed to the right where he's been practicing, or as we've been seeing them practice? Not just him. There's a couple other guys that, they're all switched around. But maybe that's just the Josh McDaniels thing. Maybe that's just something to keep everybody that is eligible to do such a thing, meaning switch positions. You're a swing guy, you go left or right. Giving him that time. But man, that Javon Walker, the first pick of the 2022 draft, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. Obviously, I wasn't looking for him, but when you're that just number one draft pick, I mean, he looked pretty decent. He looked pretty strong out there. He looked like he was gaining his confidence because at first, Brandon Parker, it seemed like he was holding his own. And then you really noticed that he was getting chips from running backs and wide receivers. I think they did like a crack block on him one time, and he still almost got there. Javon Walker, that is. And, when you see that, it's like, okay, so maybe he's not that bad. But when you roll the tape back, you're like, he needs a lot of help. But again, it might be just because they flipped him to the other side. Who knows? We still got 3 more preseason games to figure that all out, or at least the coach does. And then we get to see how it plays out. Now, going to Josh Jacobs, I don't believe he needed to be out there. I know they didn't give him his extension or his 5th year. He's playing on his last year of his contract. Does he have a lot to prove? I think right after he did his first run, which was like 12 yards, 13 yards, something like that, you pull him out. He did his job. He found the hole. He got where he was supposed to go. Done deal. And then they just kept going and going and going and just, please don't let nothing happen to this guy. But it's still going to be running back by committee, as I could tell. But having Josh Jacobs out there, honestly, does it to you or anybody else out there watching this? And if you're going to comment, please hit the like button. You know how it is. The algorithms, it helps everybody know I'm out here trying to make content for the Raiders and for Raiders fans, because I love the Raiders. I'm sure you do too if you're watching this. So please hit that like button. But if you get in the comments, you let me know, how do you think Zamir White did? Because Personally, to me, I think he was. You're going up again. It's preseason. He looked pretty good. He looked like he was powerful. Looked like he had good speed. Um, like, what more do you want when it comes to a running back? He's got good size. I think he's like 5'11" or something like that. Might even be a little bit taller, but he looked almost noticeably bigger than Josh Jacobs, which is, it's pretty crazy because they both do the same type of thing. Josh Jacobs, I think he's a little bit more shifty, but overall, he's a power guy. He's going to make you miss, and then if you get in his way too much, he's going to try to run you over. Big Zamir White, he looked like the same type of running back. He might even have a little bit more speed, which is cool. The running back by committee thing, it might be happening. And I'm okay with that. Like I said, I mean, we all know it was a preseason game, so there wasn't a lot. You can't say, like, oh, yeah, definitely for sure this guy is the man. I know I said those same things last year, I think, about Trey Regis. Man, he looked good. And all of a sudden, you didn't see him no more. So, you never know. But I think that this regime is gonna have something to say about how good a running back could be, and something to say about being able to scout guys. You know what I mean? It was a cool game to watch. Obviously, we all like the win. I think when you look at the game and you try to break it down, and you realize that not all the guys that were out there were starters on either side of the ball at any time. For us, the Raiders, it seemed like they're getting the scheme down. They're getting what they need to have down to be successful in the regular season. And if that's the case, if we're like a run-heavy team, which I doubt we will be, because we got too many weapons on the outside, you already know who they are. If we end up being a power running team or a heavier running team, it kind of bodes well for us, because people are probably going to be guessing, not people, but other teams are probably going to be guessing that we're going to be trying to hit Devontae all the time. We're going to try to hit Hunter all the time. We're going to hit Waller, because you can't double all of them. So the running game should be open. So do you think they would counter? In my imagination, they would counter it by just going right at the running, making sure the running game doesn't get off. Because if you're getting 5 yards a clip, I mean, now we're in the red zone. Waller, Hunter, Devontae Adams, we're dangerous there. It seems like you would want it the other way. You would want them to go, air the ball out. You would think so. In my mind, I'm like, I'm trying to outthink myself, playing chess against myself. Maybe let them get down the field, and then, as you get into the 20 in the red zone area, you shrink the field shrinks, obviously. So those players that I just mentioned, the wide receivers, they're going to be less effective. So kind of like let them get down there first, and then bottle everything up. But like I said, if you're going 5 yards a clip, or 4 yards a clip every freaking play, man, you're just going to wear the defense out. So it's kind of almost like you would want to stop them. You want to stop that running first. You know what I mean? That's how they might think about it. Then you start thinking, well, like I said, they got those weapons on the outside. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm glad I'm not on the opposing side and have to think about that stuff. I'm glad it's another team that's going to be out there doing that. And I really hope the Raiders shine this year. It looks like I said, they're getting the game plan. They're understanding exactly what they need to do in this scheme to make things happen, because it went through every string. Some of the first with the second, some of the second with the third, and some of the third with the guys that might not even make it. Apparently we only went out there with I think it was like 71 players or something like that, and the Jags had 90 something, so they had plenty of people to rotate in, and we were solid. So it makes you feel good about what's going on. I don't know if you feel that way, but if you do feel that way, hit the like button. Make that algorithm go up. Boop, 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 boop. If you don't, hit the thumbs down. Either way, algorithm shows up, and then it helps us out. Like I already said, for the Raiders, for the fans, for us, it's what we like, right? But please get in the comments. Let me know what you saw. Was there something different? Was there another player out there? How about the defense? You have something to say about the defense? Honestly, I thought the defense was, you know, okay. Okay, there's a lot of guys that they were trying out. Obviously, there's a ton of starters that didn't play. No Max Crosby, no Chandler Jones, you name it. But there's a couple of, undrafted rookies or undrafted free agents, rookies that, came in. They did some nice stuff. I was honestly keying in on Malcolm Kuntz. I thought Malcolm Kuntz should have did a lot better than he did. I know he got at least one pass breakup. He could have got a sack, but he whiffed. So I think he got credited with like half a sack maybe. But yeah, I was expecting more out of him. I was expecting to see more. Honestly, I know Farrell is a starter and all that stuff. I would have liked to see him get out there and make some noise, because if Arden Key on the other side is over here sacking our quarter, we need to do something back the other way. Because honestly, those two guys, in my opinion, are like the same. Now, only thing that is different is Klee. He got drafted in the first round, and he still hasn't brought those expectations. The first year, I was digging on it. Second year, I don't know. Not the third year, it's just like whatever, man. Now you got to show me something, and I would have definitely put him in this game that just passed to see what he has. Get at the quarterback. I need to see it. I need to see it. I want to see it. Linebackers, Jan Brown, Diablo, they played. They looked pretty decent. Our corners looked okay. That dude Cosby, he looked like he was all over the place, popping people. Palomau, excuse me, Palomalu's nephew, he was looking pretty good out there, like popping people. Big dude, I think he was number 40. Yeah, it was a decent game. It was a decent game to watch as far as seeing who we got, and I'm kind of excited. Who am I kidding? I'm really excited. I can't wait till the regular season comes. Can't wait till this next preseason game comes, so we can see more of those guys that are on the fringe of actually making the team, or even just making the practice squad. See what they can do. I don't think Britton Brown played. There's a couple other guys. I can't think of it right now. But I hope you like the game just as much as I like the game. We always like a win. Who doesn't? But just seeing some of those guys get out there and really show what they got, and really show that they can work in any scheme, or the scheme that we work with, whether it be offense or defense. Please get down in the comments. Tell me what you think. Remember, hit that like button, please. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you know people that like the Raiders, or just like football in general, and like to see people talk and hear what they got to say, their opinions, their takes, my takes, they're usually from a higher perspective, if you know what I mean. But get them out there, bring them over here, tell them Sesh Media, let's do this. It's all about the Raiders. It's all about the Raiders, and it's always going to be about the nation anytime you come here. And until next time, one.